Welcome, everyone, to your full moon in Capricorn Akashic energy update. For those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Laura Mazzata. I am a holistic therapist of 20 years, and I'm an Akashic energy channel. I come from the Akashic Records, and I'm also the author of Holistic Mental Health. So I have been gathering so much beautiful data from the field with this moon, and I typically just do private full moon readings within my paid containers, but this time it felt really aligned to share all of this information with the collective because there's a lot of energy coming up with this moon that I didn't fully expect. And so I'm excited to share this with you because it's a pattern that I've been seeing in myself and my clients and my loved ones and the collective in general. So the full moon in Capricorn peaked earlier today, and full moons, as always, place a spotlight on ourselves. So we really see aspects of ourselves that have been hidden or that we aren't fully admitting. And that's one of the things that's a theme that's coming up a lot within this particular full moon. So Capricorn energy is very typically a practical energy, but it can also be kind of an angsty energy, kind of like, leave me alone, let me head down, let me get my things done, right? And so I'm seeing a lot of that almost tantrumy emotional energy coming up that's reminiscent of experiences we may have had when we were adolescents. This moon is kind of taking us back to our roots when we were younger and when we had all of these stirred up emotions and didn't know fully who we were, where we were going. And the fact is that we do know where we're going. We do know who we are. And it's simply about getting in touch with that. And the reason that we're feeling all of these feelings that are stirred up from this moon is because they are really urging us to step into that next creation of what it is we desire, that we're not meant to attach to old stories with this energy. It's almost like, okay, we're going to bring up all these emotions that you were feeling way back when. And instead of connecting stories and meaning to all of this, what you're meant to actually do is attend to this energy as a reminder of who you actually are. Who are you at your core? Who have you always been? What is your essence? Right? And so it's a reminder to kind of go back and remember. Remembrance is a big theme with this moon. Going back to remember, who am I? And remember that you have a responsibility to show people who you are, because this life is not about you, right? It's about service to the universe. It's about service to spirit. And so we're not just meant to put our heads down and go and achieve all of these things that we think we're supposed to achieve. Instead, it's about allow any feelings that are coming up to guide you right now into a remembrance of who you've always been and where are you not fully admitting to yourself that you have desires or you're being tugged in a direction that really lights you up inside, that feels really right, but you feel like, but I don't know if that's going to be accepted, or I don't feel fully comfortable stepping outside of my comfort zone and being seen. Okay. And so what happens is these emotions get stirred up within us. We don't realize that this is what it's for. And we start to think, oh, this person's pissing me off. That person's pissing me off. Oh, it's about the fact that I haven't gotten that job offer. It's about the fact that I feel uncomfortable in my financial situation or whatever's coming up. We attach all of this meaning and all of these stories to why we're feeling the way we're feeling. And we blame all of those things. And then we try to resolve them when we get all in our heads and we feel very, very messy. We can feel very messy on this moon. There's been a lot of that angsty anger coming up, kind of like, it's not fair. I'm not where I want to be. This is where I want to be, right? And actually, all of this is a distraction, right? All of this attachment to what it could be outside of us, et cetera, is a distraction because we are looking for a sense of belonging, not with other people necessarily, but with ourselves and with our own path. We're looking for, how do I belong in my own path, like on my own soul's trajectory? Like, what role am I supposed to be playing right now? And the thing is, we are not meant to be using our minds to navigate this. in any way, shape, or form. But that's what happens when emotions get stirred up. We try to analyze, we try to understand, and we don't need to come into conscious understanding of those right now. It's about coming back to your roots, allowing those old feelings to come up, remembering who you are, and extracting the essence of you rather than all the stories of what those feelings were attached to way back when, so that you can step into more embodied leadership of yourself and of other people around you if you desire, which honestly you automatically are, because when people are in your energy, they're going to be receiving from you. And the way that you show up and embody your unique essence, your unique energy, is only coming from you. There's nobody else on this planet that energy is going to come through exactly the same way as it comes through you. And it's embracing that and celebrating that emotional experience that's coming forward, because that is unique to you. The only person who's going to love you the way that you want to be loved is you. The only person who's going to fully understand you exactly the way you want to be understood is you. There's no one on this planet that will have the exact same experience as you do, internally and externally. And so it's being able to recognize that, and at the same time that you start to allow these emotions that are coming forward to catalyze you into realizing, oh, wow, there's some things that are clearing space right now that want to get out or that want to shift into different form, so that I can see more clearly who I actually am. Because we're always learning new layers of this. It's not like you become authentic and then you're authentic and you're done, check off the list. We're always striving. I don't like the word striving because it implies effort and trying, but we are always uncovering new levels of our authenticity as we get to know ourselves at deeper and deeper layers. The fact is 95% of what goes on in our minds is subconscious. We don't even see that most of the time, right? We don't even see it. And so when we're using our minds, we're very, very jaded. We're very distorted in what we're looking at. So that's why connecting to the energy and allowing ourselves to realize these emotions that are coming up are simply energy moving through, activating the essence of who we are, which is why it's like all this adolescent or childhood stuff could be coming up right now, because it's like, yeah, we're activating the essence of who you are because we want you to look back simply to remember you, right? And then what you're left with, though, is you can feel a little lonely stepping away from kind of what you've known. Right? Well, but if I make this change, or if I step into what I really deeply believe in, or feel like I'm really being guided or nudged toward, number one, what if I'm wrong? First of all, there is no wrong. Okay. Right and wrong do not exist. Every step you take is the right decision to move you forward on your path. You're feeling like, oh, how are people going to view me? What if I lose what I've created? What if I lose these relationships? What if I lose these patterns that I've created that I've become attached to? Number one, you can look at your attachments, right? What are you attached to? Because the fact is, the people that are meant to be on your path that are not just here to support you, but are here to expand you and activate you into your next level and invite you into your next level and really get pumped with you, right? Those are the people you want in your field. Those people are going to come with you because they see your essence. They know your depth of being. That is far beyond this human presentation, right? But that's the rub. It's like you feel this, I can't resist this pull here, but I'm afraid, and I'm feeling kind of like parts of me are being torn to move on to this next direction, right? And this is where we can take responsibility for where we're being guided and where we're being pulled, without having to say, all right, I'm just deciding right now, I'm changing direction, boom, done, head down, let's just go. That's typically the Capricorn energy. But in this one, we're being asked to soften it a little bit. We're being asked to soften it because we can take and own responsibility for our path from a place of very gentle guidance, rather than this like, okay, I'm going to set up all the steps and I need to know how. So my question here for you is, where can you take responsibility by admitting where you are being drawn right now, even if it feels outlandish or off the beaten path? You don't have to admit this to anyone else. You can just admit it to yourself, but it's like coming clean to yourself. What am I being drawn to that I'm avoiding or that I'm escaping? That was one thing that I realized within myself in this process. I was like, "Oh shit, like I'm escaping. I'm attempting to escape this next version of me by focusing on this, and this. Oh, well, I want to go to this person because I miss them. I want to spend time with them. Da 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 da. That's great. I already have plans to go see that person, but there was this sense of urgency involved, right? And when we get that urgency, it's like it's coming from a place of fear, right? It's coming from a place of fear. And you want to be able to make these steps forward from a place of natural magnetic pull. Okay. For me, it was like, oh, wow, I am trying to escape stepping into a higher level of who I am because I don't necessarily know what that looks like in a tangible sense. I know what it feels like. I can tap into that feeling easily and I can envision myself there, but how do I get there? Right? That is not my job. That is not my job. My job is to surrender and take responsibility for my connection and deepening my belief in spirit, deepening my belief in myself, deepening my belief in the fact that I am a vessel of divine energy. And as long as I open myself to allow this to flow through and just have the wind at my back and kind of pushing me forward, I'm going to get exactly where I set my intention. So are you bold enough in this moon to set the intention to move toward what you admit you're being drawn to? That's it. That's the only way you need to take responsibility right now. It doesn't mean you have to sell your house and pack everything up and move across the country or across the world, right? It's taking responsibility by saying, I admit where I'm being drawn and I set that intention with devotion and deepen my belief. I set the intention to deepen my belief in that possibility, no matter how outlandish it may seem, because I know that anything is possible. Because the fact is, you are not trapped in anything in this world. I hear that all the time. Well, I can't because of this. I can't because of that. Well, I'm married and I have kids. Well, I don't have the money. Well, I'm established here right now. I can't. You can always actualize the energetic underpinnings of what it is you desire. You do not have to completely uproot your life in one moment. Very similar to like when I transitioned from traditional therapy into my spiritual work. I didn't just close my business immediately and switch over. I combined the two for a good few years before I made that transition, right? Like it doesn't have to be all or nothing, okay? What does need to be all is your belief. And that is something that you might not get overnight. It might take seeds of belief continuing to return to yourself, your relationship with source, just being in stillness, deepening your belief, not necessarily in you. I was talking to a client about this earlier today, that it can be a lot easier for us to place faith in source and spirit in the universe than it is in ourselves. So start there. That's okay. Start there. Start by devoting yourself to the fact that source created all of this. Absolutely everything we have was created by the universe, was created by the source of all things, even the universe. So anything can be created. Things are being sparked into being every second of every single day. You can deepen your belief in that. And if you can deepen your belief in that, then you can deepen your belief automatically as a byproduct in yourself. Because source created you. Right? So there's infinite possibilities available to you. So spend time creating a personal relationship with source, with your soul, with your higher self, God of your own understanding, however you describe it. Deepening intimacy. When that occurs, your next steps are automatically going to show up. They're automatically going to arrive for you. Okay. We don't want to get so consciously caught up in what is the outcome of this? Where is this taking me? What does this mean? Why is this coming forward at this time? Why is this happening to me? X, Y, and Z, right? You are exactly where you belong right now. You're exactly where you belong right now. And the more that you connect to the natural energy of the universe and take full responsibility for deep connection with your soul, you are remembering the essence of who you are. You are allowing yourself to be seen by yourself. You're allowing yourself to be seen by source. And I promise you, you will be seen more authentically by the people in your field. Even if you don't speak it out loud, they will feel a shift in you. You don't even have to say a word. So you can take some of that pressure off of yourself. Okay? So thank you so much for joining me for this. Let's just take a few moments in silence. I'm just going to send you some energy. Allow yourself to breathe. Close your eyes if you desire. Allowing yourself to receive whatever seeds are meant to be planted within you now during this full moon. Knowing that you are and will always be a child of the universe, constantly unfolding, ever expanding. Approach it as an adventure, as excitement. You can't wait to see what's around the next corner. So when all these emotions come up, you know that you are being prepared, that you are having space cleared, and that you are going to be feeling and seeing a version of you that you may not have ever seen. But more likely it's going to be that it's all coming together. It's like, oh, there's that previous version of me. Oh, that's the person that I know is within me. And you may not have been consciously choosing to hide that version of you. But this connection with your energy, with your soul, being in a space of receiving, bypasses the mind. It bypasses any beliefs that we have about ourselves, about the world, about one another. And allows you to come into full responsibility for just your vibration, your energy, the way you uniquely were created to impact yourself, your closest loved ones, this planet at large, whatever's meant for your path. So we choose to enter into a new level of surrender at the same time that we welcome in a new level of responsibility for receiving and following those nudges and magnetic pulls from the universe that feel undeniably strong. It's a brave path to take. It's a brave path to walk. To say, even though all of the naysayers and the evidence and everything out there is saying, that doesn't make sense. You're here to pave a new way that only you uniquely can pave. And you don't have to start from scratch. The resources will be provided to you. It's just deepening that belief, deepening that relationship, deepening that trust. And if you need support, I'm just a message away. Thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your full moon in Capricorn.